All right. Good evening, everyone. It's just after 7 p.m. on Monday. And as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to give everyone an update and kind of a what to expect discussion tonight as far as what we can expect in this weather we're going to have at the end of the week. And I think it will actually be rather interesting in a lot of ways. So, with that, I think I'm online. I think I'm live. Hope so. I think I got my technical difficulties worked out. So with that, let's just start out behind me. What you see there. So what you do see is right now it's 60 degrees, and it doesn't show on this map, but the high temperature today was about 66 degrees, and that will be the last time you see that for quite a while. I will say that. So if you enjoy today's weather, hope it's a good memory for you because it's it's going to be a while before you see those kind of temperatures. Okay, so like I said, it's 60 degrees, and you can look. Actually since just I went on the air, I just looked at my anemometer, and now the wind's out of the northeast. So wow, there's some breaking news for you right there. So it looks like the cold front just came through. So yeah, look at that. It's already getting into the 50s. So you'll see that. Now this is not going to be one of those situations to where it's going to be, a blast, and you're going to wake up and it's 25 degrees tomorrow. You're not going to see that. Thank you, Leslie Williams. I see you. Thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. So it's not going to be that type situation. I was explaining this earlier that this cold air is so dense. It's really shallow. It's not very deep, but it's really dense. And so instead of kind of blasting through like water on a countertop, it's going to be more like pancake batter on a countertop. If you've ever spilt that, and believe me, I have, then it kind of oozes down the counter. So that's kind of what this cold air is doing. So it's going to take its sweet time getting here. So I wanted to illustrate that to you. And let me see if I can pull this up. Okay, I'm not on that one yet. Okay, so this was the satellite picture earlier today, and you can kind of see right here that the edge of these low clouds right here, that's where the cold air was earlier today. And you can see if this is in loop, then the clouds here were going this way and coming down this way, and just not really making much progress here. So yes, Angela. Making you hungry. Sorry about that. So it wanted to ooze down, but those clouds were a good indication. I wish I had it. You know what? I think maybe I'm going to do something on the fly here, because I think I can show this, put this particular satellite picture in motion. I'm pretty sure I can do this. Oh, okay, it's loading. So I wanted to give you a better visual of that. And okay, there we go. All right, so yeah, as you can see, the way these clouds are moving, these clouds are part of the cold air that's coming down, or represents the cold air. So you can see it's just oozing down. This is probably a 4 or 5 hour loop. So, and if you look real close, you can see, hey, that cold air is just kind of oozing into Saxy. So, that's a good illustration of the air. That obviously you can't really see air, but the clouds and the density is different, so that's a good visual for you. So I wanted to show you that. Okay, so now if I can get my controls to work, I don't think you saw what I was looking at earlier. So let me do this and see if I can get this to work. Okay, there we go. Yay! All right, so this is kind of a history map. So this is a surface weather map of December 1989. Now, anybody that was around during that time knows exactly what happened. And if you know what happened, hit me up in the chat for that. But before I say it, so if you know what happened in December 1989 from a temperature standpoint, let me know. And I'll give the big reveal at the end. So this is what the map looks like. So as you can tell, you probably can't read that, but these are very cold temperatures. And so what we're looking at here is that, I'm not going to say it's going to be a December 1989 type situation, but it might be close. So, and I just realized that when I'm asking these questions that the chat's behind. So I have got to figure out a good way to get that more up to date, because I know I'm talking and you're behind. So anyway, so we'll get that part figured out. Okay, so yes, Linda, -4. It wasn't that at the airport, but I'll go ahead and tell y'all. So December 1989 was the last time it was below 0 in Dallas-Fort Worth officially. -1 at DFW Airport. So that's the last time, December 23rd, 1989. So Now, if you look at certain weather apps and things, you might see something close to 0. I have a hard time buying that, but I did kind of want to show you what some of the models were showing. It's going to be cold, I'll put it that way. All right, so let's go on to the next one here. Okay, so again, it might be a little hard to read there. So this is the GFS, and it's the most aggressive with the cold air, and so you might not can make that out. But if this were to verify, this is Sunday morning. So if this were to verify, that's a 4. 4 degrees is what you see. And so I don't know if it's going to be that cold. I mean, to be totally honest with you, but it's going to be cold. I just don't know if it's going to be that cold. Now, that's one model. So the next model, a little bit closer view here. Hopefully you can see this better. So you see 12. So 12 degrees. Well, that's, it's still cold, obviously, but it's not quite close to 0. So that's another model that says it's going to be 12 degrees. All right, so if you go to the next one, look at that, 25. Well, wait a minute. One model says 25, one model says 12, and another model says 4 degrees. So what's it going to be? Well, that just kind of gives you an idea that we don't know what it's going to be exactly. It can be anywhere from that 25 to that 4 degrees, and we're still a little bit. We're far enough away from it where we don't know for sure. But like I said, it's pretty doggone sure that it's going to be cold. We know that much for sure. Just how cold, that's yet to be seen. But I can tell you, it will be below freezing. Put that way. You can go to the bank on that one. Okay, so let's go to the and this is the last one. Say this is just another model, and again, you probably can't see that, but again, it's 25. So again, you kind of get the idea. All right, so now here's what we call ice accretion. So that's just a fancy way of saying ice on surfaces. So, how ice accretes on surfaces. So and again, it's probably hard for you to read that, but you see a little bit. This is Thursday morning. So you see a 0.08. I know you probably can't see that, but you see a 0.08 inches water equivalent. You see a 0.04, but you don't see a big coverage. I actually see a lot of coverage northeast of Dallas-Fort Worth and into Oklahoma. Now, that's just what one model says. We don't have a whole lot of models that can do ice accretion very well, so this is the one I picked out. It's just a way to say that we have really 3 areas to be concerned about from a precipitation standpoint. 3 time periods that we have to be concerned about. One is Wednesday night, Thursday morning. That's for ice accretion and maybe sleet as well. And this map kind of depicts that in the sense of, kind of what one model's seeing. So I think you might see some, and I think you definitely will see some if you're in Oklahoma. So that's one concern. The next time period concern is Saturday, because we're going to have several reinforcing shots of cold air. And so there'll be another reinforcing shot of cold air on Saturday. And there'll be a system moving overhead then, so we may see some frozen precipitation then. And then the last concern, at least for now, the last concern would be Monday morning, and we may see again. Remember, if those temperatures are 12 degrees, even if it's 25 really, and we have some disturbances that move atop the cold air, then, there's going to be issues. Unfortunately, at least on Thursday anyway, it's definitely more of an ice, sleet type situation. Maybe more of a snow. Don't get your hopes up. We're not talking about 6 inches, but it may be a snow type situation more so than Thursday on Saturday and maybe even Monday. So now speaking of that. So I picked this map out because this is Saturday afternoon. And as you can see, the purple would represent ice, sleet, and then of course the blue is snow. Now again, this is one model and this is way out in Saturday. So as I've always said, and I learned when I was at A&M, that most models aren't worth much 3 days out, beyond 3 days out. Now, that was 30 years ago. He was telling me that. But I think there's still something to that, is that these models can change really, really quickly. So that's something that I just wanted to illustrate that, because this is Saturday. And if that were to verify, then we'd have a lot of problems, because I think it would be in the 20s at the very least then. Next. Now this is, okay, so kind of with that same vein, I wanted to show you a couple snowfall forecasts to give you the variety of what the models show. And of course, whether it's temperatures or snow or ice or anything like that, they're all over the place. And you're going to see that here in a second. So this is one model, and again, doesn't show a whole lot. It really, there's really no snow with this model. Okay, so next, Oh, look at that. So this is another model. And again, you got to remember these are all weather models. That shows, and again, I know you can't see that, but 3.3 inches. Okay, that's a lot different than nothing. So that's, and as you can see, if that snowfall map verifies, you'd be talking about snow all the way to Houston. Um, I don't know if I buy that, but again, it just kind of shows you what we're potentially dealing with. And yes, this is all happening during Valentine's Day. So if you had plans on Sunday, if this forecast verifies, yeah, you may have to alter those plans, or the weather will alter it for you. So, okay. So now let's go to the next snowfall map. And again, this shows most of the snow in Oklahoma, which big shock, right? That happens all the time. But again, you just see the variability in all the models. And let's see. Yeah, and then I think this is my last one here. And again, it's kind of similar to the model we just saw. Most of the snowfall would be in northwest of North Dallas-Fort Worth, but hey, in that way it always is, right? So I think that's the last one I have. Yeah. Okay. So go back to that satellite loop there. And again, like I said, you can see the cold air. And if we switch over to the live version, like I said, I'm going to refresh that here real quick. Let's do that here. Okay. And that'll pop up here in just a second. The refresh will anyway. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so you can see that cold air creeping down. It does look like pancake batter, doesn't it? So here's the thing. I wanted to give everybody an update on what I thought was going to happen. And look, I think the bottom line is it's going to get cold. We just don't know how cold. Now, it sounds kind of strange because in the big scheme of things, if we weren't talking about temperatures in the below freezing, then nobody would care. I mean, if the forecast was between 50 and 35, I mean that is a difference, but again, nobody would really care. But because you're talking about a difference of 25 degrees and 4 degrees, that would rival, of course, the December 1989 cold outbreak, and that has not, that's 32 years ago. So I would say this for people that had plans, quite frankly, really starting Wednesday night, really through Monday. Now, I'm not saying we're going to be snowpacked in. Don't take it that way. I don't want to run on the grocery stores. But I think it's something that you do have to watch because, we could have some ice accumulation Thursday morning. Not saying it's going to be a whole lot, but we could. So that's, like I said, that's one period to watch. The next period to watch is Saturday afternoon. That's when another system will come in. We'll have a reinforcing shower of cold air, and that's something else to watch. And then, of course, on Monday morning, it would be the same type of situation. Could have some frozen precipitation. Now, having said all that, we do get caught up in the precipitation type and all that, so that's definitely something we should watch out for. But if really temperatures even if it verifies at 25 degrees, it will probably be in the 20s for a good chunk of time. So, cover your outdoor faucets, cover any exposed pipes, because even if it just gets into the 20s, that's still danger zone for those pipes. Now, if it gets, into the single digits, then that's really a problem. So that's when vegetation starts getting affected. And obviously, if you have pets like I do, you'll definitely want to make sure they're not outside if we get that cold. I doubt they want to be outside when it's 25 anyway. So, just make preparations for that. Because like I said, today's the last warm day we're going to have in a while. So I'll definitely be watching it between now and then. I think tomorrow, when you wake up, this cold front just came through. As a matter of fact, let's go check my weather station here again. Yeah, so when we came on the air about 10, 15 minutes ago, it was 61 degrees, or 60 maybe, and now it's 56. So you can tell that the front's definitely come through. So that nice warm weather you were enjoying today is, like I said, it's going to be a while. Okay, with that, I really appreciate, yes, Leslie, run your pool pumps. That's right. Do anything you can to protect yourself from the cold weather. Because like I said, it's going to be cold, and it might be cold. It might be as cold as we've seen in a long, long time. Now, I'm not ready to buy off on 4 degrees, but it's going to be cold. We know that much. And, and it's February. So look, this is our coldest month of the year. So this is not totally shocking, but it can. So, all right. Yes, Angela, I will send pancakes. That's for sure. as always, I appreciate everybody watching. I will post this video on not the edit, not the edited version in the sense that I'll put some title cards on it, but I'll post it on my timeline so that way you can watch the replay. And if you have a question, shoot me an email, shoot me something in the chat, messenger, text, however you can get a hold of me. I'll be happy to answer your questions. And as always, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a wonderful evening and stay warm.